Setting off here in the Overland and hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we'll be going over a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee L in the Overland package. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Dodge Ram here in Provo for giving me some time with this Grand Cherokee L. Check out their inventory in the link below. Let's get into the video. Under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 25 on the highway, with power outputs being 290 horsepower and then 257 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the Overland. So first off, the hood is unchanged compared to the other Grand Cherokee L's. And then you still get the signature grille here, but notice that the center portion of it is kind of like blacked out. We've got a camera there in the center, and then coming here to the side, notice we still get the full LED lights with the LED accent light there at the top, fog light down below with the parking sensors on the front, and then you've got the chrome tow hooks on top of that. And other than that, there's the front end. Now coming around the side here, we've got two 65mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then as for the design on the wheels themselves, notice how the coloration on the top portion is lighter and then you've got a darker gray underneath that, which creates some nice contrast. And then this one does have air suspension, so you guys can see we're in the normal ride height setting right now. We've got nice painted fender flares. We've got our Jeep Grand Cherokee badge here on the side with the American flag. And then notice that the mirror has been blacked out, but you've got nice chrome accent that connects there. It goes all around the side. Chrome on the door handles as well. And then, wait for it, there's your full side view. Now popping here into the rear, notice we have the nice metallic plaque right there, and that is just to lower down the hatch. We've got a 12-volt right here, and then you've got all of the buttons to lower the seats. So for the third row, you can raise and lower them automatically. The second row, you can only lower them down. And then you guys can see with the seats lowered down what that looks like in terms of the storage space. And then also underneath here, we have some more storage space, but that's all. So and closed. Now finishing things here in the back, notice how that chrome trim comes all the way around. We've got the LED lights right here. You've got your L badge with the 4x4 badge and then the Overland badge on the other side. And then we've got the little exhaust tips underneath the coverings themselves. And well, yeah, that's all for the rear. So popping here into the back, let's go over the door panel. So first off, we've got the sunshade right here. We've got wood trim, and then we've got nice metallic trim down below that. And then we've got leather and stitching here on the door panel itself. And then we have the sound system. Now I got made fun of in the last video because I think I called it the Macintosh sound system. Apparently it's called the Macintosh sound system. I don't care how it is pronounced. It's a really good sound system. It sounds great. That's all that's important. And yeah, anyways. Now here are the seats. You can see you've got the leather on it with the perfect leather in the center. And you have some storage space there on the front seat. And then popping in, if you guys are wondering, 6 foot, there's my legroom. Headroom, I fit back here. We've got the climate controls for the rear. The second row passengers do get heated seats, and then we've got some USBs down here with a full power outlet, some cup holders. And then the third row, you can actually fit adults back there, which is pretty nice. Notice the controls that you get right there. Cup holder, and then some USBs, all that fun stuff. And if you want to see me in the third row, go watch my other Grand Cherokee L video because I went back there. But anyways, let's head to the front. Now here's a door panel in the front. So again, we've got the soft touch here at the top with the wood trim and then the leather down below here. The memory seats, the massage seat function, blind spot monitoring for the mirror. We've got our window controls right there with the mirror adjustments. And then again, another speaker for the Macintosh, whatever, Tosh sound system. Here is the seat at the front. So again, it says Overland on it, nice perforated leather, heated and cooled. You've got all your adjustments there on the side of the seat. And the pedals down below, and then we've got our light control just up above, and there's one more look before we pop in. Now here's our steering wheel in the Overland. We've got nice leather all around the steering wheel with the contrasted stitching in the center portion. And then we've got this black trim right there. And then even the airbag cover also has leather and stitching. We've got our adaptive cruise control here with the steering assistance. Controls for the center stack with the phone controls, paddles there on the back. And then you got the stock for the turn signal, and then the stock for the windshield wiper, and well, that's the steering wheel. So we've got the center gauge cluster. Sorry about the glare, but you guys can see a new feature. We've got the night vision on, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. The cool thing about this night vision system is you can even use it during the daytime. If you guys remember, I reviewed the new Escalade. You couldn't use it during the day, you could only use it at night, so it's cool that they let you use this whenever you want. Anyways, we've got some different drive modes. So we've got our sports, we've got our auto, we've got our snow, sands, and mud, and then we have our rock mode as well. And other than that, full digital readout for the gauge cluster itself. I think it looks great. And then there are some different menus you can scroll through with the gauge cluster itself. So you guys can see we can go into those different menus, or I can pull the menus down and then go back into the night vision mode. And yeah, that's all. We've got our auto stop start here. We've got our lane departure. We've got our stability control. That's for the hazard lights, the parking sensors, and then a couple of nice blink switches. Down below, we've got the infotainment system. First off, we'll pop it into reverse. So notice we've got the backup camera, the bird's eye view, and then we've got all those different camera views out of it, and then you can zoom in, and then also we get like a trail camera. So from a camera perspective, really good. As for the rest of the infotainment system, it's very nicely integrated into the dash. Response time on it is great. You guys can see as soon as you click something, pulls up pretty much right away. It does take a second for things to load, but when you actually just like press the buttons themselves, it's pretty good with the response. It's got the fam cam, so you can see stuff in the back. Let me see if I can reach my arm. Yeah, you guys can kind of see my arm there in the back, which is pretty cool. But yeah, definitely nice with kids, all that kind of stuff. And then yes, we do have the third row headrest fold, so you can knock your kids in the back of the head. So you use the fam cam so you can see what they're doing, and then if they're annoying you, then you do the headrest fold, hit them in the back of the head, and I mean, it just makes parenting so much easier. Jeep is just way ahead of it. But anyways, that's the infotainment system. We've got our analog controls for the radio, and then for the climate controls in this whole section. And then again, we've got heated, cooled seats for the front, and then they also do have the massage function. And then notice that you've got that nice piano black trim. Covers with wireless phone charge, and then the other charging ports as well. We've got this for the air suspension, and then the hill descent control, and then we've got our gear selector, which is just a dial. Looks and feels really nice. The drive mode select, and then the low range. A couple more cup holders, which you can cover up with the trim. Center console, which has the two different levels on it. Definitely nice. And then we've got the glove box over here. Notice we've got nice wood trim, and it's the same that you have in the door panel, and then we've got the leather trim here. And then up above on the dash, more nice trim. We have the camera mirror. Wow, that is really like, it's like makes a loud booming sound. Anyways, you guys know I'm a huge fan. And we've got a panoramic sunroof as well because, well, it's a luxury car. What do you expect? That's all for the top. Now we have like medium glare today, so you guys can actually kind of see the window sticker. You can see the base MSRP for the Overland, $54,995. And feel free to freeze the frame. Hopefully you guys can read it, but I know it's going to be kind of hard because of the glare. But anyways, total MSRP, $62,820. And wait for it. Wait a little bit longer, and a little bit longer. Let's take it out, see how it drives. So let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's your visibility of the hood, and then hopefully you guys can now see the heads-up display through both the mirrors. Again, they have blind spot, and then the rest of the rear. And let's set off. We're setting off here in the Overland, and the V6 is actually really good. A lot of people say that the V6 is not enough, but I mean, we're at 4,500 feet elevation, and you know, it gets up and it moves. And also the night vision never turns off, which is pretty cool. Hopefully you guys can see that on the camera. Now, aside from that, how does the Overland version drive? And well, with the air suspension, this feels identical to the Summit package. Now, there definitely is a perceivable difference between an air suspension Grand Cherokee L and a non-air suspension. It's very slight. You have to drive them back to back to feel the difference because they're both really smooth, but the air suspension version just soaks things up a little bit better. And then on top of that, it's constantly adjusting the ride height to make things the most comfortable. So yeah, it just does a little bit of a better job compared to the, again, non-air suspension versions of the Grand Cherokee L. Aside from that, the steering is actually really good. It actually has a pretty good level of directness, especially for being a third row SUV. And then braking, yeah, braking is solid as well. Let's get into setting things up here with the Grand Cherokee L. So first off, I think they nailed it with the exterior styling. It just looks really good. Even though it's a longer SUV, and I'm not usually a fan of longer SUVs, I think it looked great. So nailed it there. Interior wise, it's kind of a mixed bag with this Overland package because the Summit isn't that much more expensive for a similar amount of equipment as what this has. You're maybe like $4 more. And the interior on that definitely feels a lot more premium. This is definitely a very, very nice interior, but it's not as nice as the Summit. And so it kind of begs the question of, you know, why would you get this over the Summit? And I mean, yeah, you save a little bit of money, but it's not a whole lot. And so overall, the Overland for this segment has a very nice interior. It definitely just destroys the competition, but the Overland's biggest competition is another package you can get on the same vehicle. So it's kind of an interesting predicament that Jeep is creating their own competition, I guess. The night vision, pretty cool little feature, I guess I'll say. But overall, the new Grand Cherokee L is a great third row SUV, really practical. It's got good power, it's got good technology, it's very comfortable. And I mean, right now, it's like 92 degrees outside. I've got the air conditioned seat on, I've got the air conditioning on, I've got the massage seat function on. I am living the life of luxury to its fullest extent for an automobile. So yeah, this is just a luxury SUV bargain. But again, the only downside about this Overland is the fact that the Summit exists. And so, I mean, if you're already gonna spend 62 grand, I would just go and spend 66 and get the Summit. That's just me. But let me know what you guys think.